I don't know if there's any common threads between
There
this and
are
anything
some.
that I've written before.
I think, although in many ways it's a departure, I think there are some real basic similarities about you don't sell out the truth of a character in order to have a joke. It's different. Yeah. It's, you know, the plot thing is very different and so on. But one thing I think Gavin and Stacey did beautifully was that once you know your characters and you've formed them and they're real to you, you know if you're making them behave in a way that they wouldn't for the sake of a joke. And those moments in writing, they come up all the time, and there's a big temptation often when a gag just sort of sits up to just take it. And often you're sort of bending reality in order to do it, and the audience never thank you for it because it lets them down. It always strikes a false note. So in some ways there are those basic similarities there.
Yeah, I guess in the sense of that it's, you know, it's the characters, and you know, the truth is, if you, I hope, and it's difficult because we haven't sort of seen the show in its entirety yet, but I hope more than anything that away from the big sort of action set pieces, or away from the funny set pieces, that ultimately at the core you care about these two guys, and you care about the journey they go on together and as individuals, you know, and watching this friendship, really, you know, and that's the thing I really hope we've managed to grasp, because it certainly felt like that when we were making it. It felt like we were making a show about two ordinary guys in an extraordinary situation who just have to get through it, you know. But I think it felt like we were writing something in unknown sort of waters, really. Like it's but that was the most exciting thing about it, you know. And as soon as you get into, you know, doing rewrites and stuff like that, when you've got a director like Jim Field-Smith who has a vision so strong for the show, it then gets incredibly exciting, because Jim starts going, no, write it bigger, do it bigger, push it further, because if you don't write it down, because we would write so many scenes and go, there's no way anyone's going to let us do this, and Jim would go, but unless you write it, they never will.
And by the way, let's have a scene where there's a wall of fire between them and someone else.
Yeah, let's do the thing where he flicks a match and there's a wall of fire. There's a, you know, let's make it that the helicopter comes in right by the side of the car and hovers 1 meter over the road, and they're shooting at the car as they spin round. Let's make it that they, you know, jump from a bridge to a train. Let's make it that they have to jump from one building to another 15 stories up. You know what I mean? It was all of those things, and we would write them down, waiting for the note to come back to say, well, we can't. This, you're going to have to simplify this. And it never came, you know. It was you know, it's not lost on us how lucky we are to be in that sort of situation.